Hello, everybody. The astrology report for the next week. We are gonna have some very fun time this week. It's gonna be some kind of like ups and downs, and it's gonna be all over the place. Some of the energy is gonna be kind of like intense on the 10th. That's gonna be the time when the moon it's gonna join Uranus, and that's going to be affecting Saturn and Mercury retrograde. It's going to be intense communications, lack of communications, misunderstandings. Can be lead to very, 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 very crucial things. We're talking about that Mercury is a retro, is going to go retrograde, and it's going to be like, no, I want my things. I want my way. I have to. I have to be. I need to win. I have to over these conversations. I have to. Must be. And there is Saturn who is like blocking everything. It's like now it's not the right time. But since the moon is going to be joining there with Uranus, it's going to be like, well, there is something more powerful than this. As God, there is things for it. And during this energy, just kind of like be patient with yourself. Focus on this because Uranus and the moon is going to be a good trine with Venus and the sun. And that is the energy that from the universe you're going to find the peace. If you don't have the peace, look at inside of you, the internal peace that it's missing. Why it's missing? What is the reasons for it? So I'm gonna go to the charts right now with you guys. I hopefully you enjoyed the Mercury retrograde video. If you didn't watch it, you can go ahead and watch it. There is also a Venus retrograde video out there. You can take a look at those as well. So today, for those in the United States, right now it's probably early morning, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Depends where you live. But this is the current chart for the United States. As you know, the most of my subscribers they are in the United States, so that's what it's made for the United States. Always been like that. If you want to be looking at for the country that you're living into it, go and find the time differences and calculate where the ascendant points out. As you see here on the chart, I removed the ascendant aspects because it is about planets configurations. It's not about ascendant where you're going to look. So the moon currently just passed through Chiron. What I'm talking about, the Chiron, you probably had some kind of clue, some kind of things that you need to heal within yourself. And now you probably take time to reflect on you, to understand something better in you, to reevaluate this new thing that you got. The moon is in the mid areas, which is the full power of that new thing you want to look. That is this new energy that walks in. It is in force, but it's squaring the sun and Venus. That's mean that that energy is in there. It is about don't wait to receive the energy from somebody else. It is yours energy. You to look within yourself. You to look at it with the things within you, not within somebody else. Okay, stop expecting the love from somebody else. Somebody else wants to give you the love, they will give you the love. You cannot tell somebody don't love me. You can't just tell them. That's their choice. It's a person of choice that they want to love you or they don't. So since this is an areas, the areas demands attention. So please don't demand attentions from other people. It is you have to change yourself What is your view about this? Specifically, the Venus is retrograde. Um, this is about mostly about these current presentations. Mars, to remind you, is squaring Neptune. Just your ego can see the wrong visions. And Sagittarius, okay, you are the warrior. But what warrior? What are you clouding? What do you want? You clouding the truth, maybe. You just present yourself in different way, just so that people likes you. But your emotions inside of you shows up who you are. So the trine with Mars and the Moon right now, it helps you to seek within inside of yourself what is going on. So tomorrow we are going to have the Moon begin to join Taurus. You're going to feel this intense energy. You're gonna feel like something's changing into the material world. This pressure that the Moon brings, okay, this really pressure that goes on. As you see, that as soon as you walk into Taurus, she's gonna be squaring the Sun and Venus. So during this time, you're like, okay, well, two opposite powers within the earth. There is something goes on in the earth. Conflicts. You can figure out the conflicts within yourself, within your country, or within the world, but it will be there. So be careful with the sparks you create. Be careful with the things you set, because Mercury is still not retrograde, but is in force. Be mindful about this, please, please, please. And as you see, when the Moon begins to move in Taurus at the end of Aries, okay, this squaring is going to be affect a lot. And 10 is going to be squaring Pluto. And when a Pluto it squares, is like what it's surrounding with. Careful with what you're surrounding with. It's not a good time for communications. It's not a good time for contracts. It is a time to stop doing what you're doing and reevaluate situations. So on the 11th exactly, the Moon is going to be joining Uranus, but it's going to be felt on the 10th. So this kind of like confrontations within the Moon, it's about this blockages that I was talking earlier in the video with Saturn, your limitations within the new world, your communications within the new world. Do you understand the new world, or are you still living into the old? And this conflict that Uranus kind of like points out is like, hey, this is not the 90s and the 50s last century. This is not the 90s. This is not the 80s. Okay? Here, you are in 2022. And you need to get a new approach in yourself. Take a look at it, the new things within the material world. And these emotions about materialism, these emotions that you ask for something, new things, is within you. The trine that I'm talking about, it's right in here, this blue line with the Sun and Venus. This trine is going to help kind of like put some sponge over the anger. It's like, relax, calm down, things are okay. And the sextile with the Sun and the Venus towards Neptune, it's gonna calm down the aggravations of the warrior. To calm down, The world's not ending. Things are not finished. Chill out. Whatever is going on, it's going on. It is what it is. On Wednesday, the moon is gonna move pretty much out of Taurus. As you see, the energy is gonna be much better. Things gonna calm down. The emotions is gonna calm down. Your attentions is gonna calm down, and these energies are gonna be present. But the situation is gonna be kind of like hold on to it. The situation within you, within your own self. Um, but you need to be paying more close attentions to what your thought process is about the material world. The moon is going to be pretty soon, join later on the North Node, which is between Gemini and Taurus. And this is going to be like very carefully, it's going to be the time like, what is your karma? It's going to be your focus. Because the moon, it's the emotions. And the emotions are our focus. Whatever you feel, that's what your focus is. It is what that is. And during this time, you may have to take some time to think and reevaluate about your things that you do, about your karma, specifically things with others, because of when the moon shifting into to Gemini, you're gonna be feel this you and other friendships, you and everybody else, you and what you do with others, and so on and so on. It's gonna be kind of like a review and preparation for the Mercury retrograde. So on Thursday, as I said, the moon right here, she just passed the North Node right here, but it's squaring Jupiter. It trines Saturn and the Mercury. During this trine, though, you will feel like your blockages, the things that you didn't understand, now you can begin to learn them because you learn them through a friendship. You talk to a friend, you talk to somebody else who knows more, or you find the new things through friendship. Maybe you talk to a friend and that friend said to the friend, to the friend, to the friend of the friend. You can feel this energy within you, and you will find what prevents you to be what you trying to achieve in life. Specifically after the excuse me, after the moon passed through the North Node, it's like what I need to do for my karma, what I need to fix, what is the situations within me, what is my life is not happy, what I'm doing, what's wrong with me, and those questions will come up, that energy will come up, but you gotta be very careful. What you're hearing maybe is not what you want to hear. Mars, there it's in Sagittarius squaring Neptune, it's gonna block these visions of the people, what they telling you, you to picturize, you to see it, you to understand it. And the moon, it's squaring Jupiter, it's like, I don't see this growth. I don't see if I do this, I'm gonna get better. This energy, you need to understand when somebody gives you a message, it takes a day or two to process. Don't be right away, just jump into your conclusions. The moon is in Gemini, it's going to join Lilith. This is the time that you might be going to go to the wrong friend, who's going to tell you, well, maybe not this is, maybe this is not it, that's not it. Just so he can test you of showing you the other side. And you're going to pick and choose of who you're going to listen. Okay? Here it's one reminder for you that sometimes the people who are very close to you, they're the one who's stealing your keys happiness. Simply because they don't understand your situation. You got to be very mindful about this, and that's what this Lilith moon conjunction kind of like it's going to remind you about it. If you see the red lines here, um, it's going to be oppositions with Mars, and then you have a square with Neptune, and then Neptune is a square with Lilith and the Moon. That is called in astrology T-square. And if you take a look this, it's going to be like a one circle, like going around and around and around and around. If you go through that energy is going to be so intensified, and you already have a Mercury retrograde. You looking at further things. But if you use the energy of the retrograde moon, of the retrograde Venus, you use the energy of the Saturn and the Mercury, then you will be able to put the good and the bad of the Gemini, the angel and the devil, however you want to call it. You can put it in together and you can be able to find the truth. You're gonna be able to use the scale of the Libras and says like, this is right for me, this is wrong for me, this is it, that's what it is. So be very careful on Friday of all these situations. Saturday, the moon is going to be still having an effect pretty much of all this, except Lilith is not in the picture. This time you bringing all this into the family. It's like you tell the family, it's like, I have this problem, I have these situations, I have these issues, what the heck? And take a look that the moon and Pluto are ready to be completely in enjoyment, and you're going to tell the people around you, this is the best time. You can go to the family, says like, I just need the right thing, but I'm not sure if this is the right thing. So gotta be very careful if you tell the truth and the story, or you tell what Mars is feeling. To put yourself in a good situation so you can be present yourself as something that you are not. We're talking about Sagittarius here. Okay, most of the Sag, they want to be out, performed, and the other people to see them so they can think like, okay, you're the celebrity, okay, that's fine. But you to be a celebrity and you to be the things that you wanted to be as who you are, it's two different things. So you need to come out of this celebrity things, and you gotta come out as who you are deep inside of you to solve your karma, to solve your problem, to solve your situations. So that's gonna be on Saturday, and on Sunday, hope you spending time with the family. If you spend the time with the family, there's gonna be this divine energy messages that comes to you. But you are going to have oppositions with Venus in retrograde. So it's not about the love, it's about learning within the family. Find a new ways. Because Saturn and Mercury retrograde are in Aquarius. Aquarius says, if this doesn't work, I'll get this new way. If that new way doesn't work, I will find this new way. If I don't know astrology, I will go to the tarot. If the tarot is not working, I will go to psychic reading. And that's what Aquarius is. Okay? If your one company doesn't do it, I'll find somebody else to do it. So this is why you need to look at it and step back and look at some new approaches. Look at the new things. Maybe you have to do 180 degrees opposite of what you've been doing by now. Because what you've been doing right now, you haven't solved your karmic problems. You haven't solved these new issues. And that's what this Mercury retrograde, it's kind of like a, hey, cuckoo, hello. Have you done something opposite of that? Have you thought what that might be? Have you seen this? And that's what those messages from Mercury retrograde, you can bring it into the family to fix your family situations. So guys, that's pretty much is the astrology report. If you need a personal reading, go find me on the Facebook. Private message me is like, what can I do to have a private astrology analysis from your deal? And we're gonna go from there. Guys, happy Mercury retrograde, and be love. Just be love.